we're going to be looking at the acid-alkaline balance in the body. If you've ever owned a swimming pool, you have to test the acid-alkaline every day, because if the water goes to acid, then the pipes corrode. If the water goes to alkaline, algae grows on the pipes. The hydroponic gardener, he's constantly testing the pH of the water that the roots of the plants sit in, because if the water goes to acid, the roots burn. If the water goes to alkaline, he doesn't get the speed of uptake of minerals out of the water and into the plant. Even slight changes in the acid-alkaline in the body can have dramatic effects on the body. So let's have a look. We're going to look at the acid-alkaline balance on the pH scale. Why does the acid-alkaline scale, why is it called pH? The acid-alkaline scale is called pH because when you dissolve acid in solution, it gives off hydrogen ions. When you dissolve alkaline in solution, it gives off hydrogen ions. So pH basically means potential hydrogen or potential hydroxy. The acid end is a reading of 0, the alkaline end is a reading of 14, and right in the middle we've got neutral. Neutral is neither acid nor alkaline, and it sits at 7. Water should be 7, but unfortunately not many waters are 7, especially if they've got fluoride or chlorine in them, they become a little acid. Blood has a reading on the pH scale. Blood's reading on the pH scale sits between 7.35 and 7.4. All blood must be within that scale, because if blood pH goes up to 8, that person will go into a coma and die of alkalosis. If blood pH drops down to 7.22, that person can go into a coma and die of acidosis. So there can't be much variation there, and we don't have to worry about the pH of our blood, because there are two organs that are constantly working to keep it within that range. One is your lungs. When we exercise, we start breathing deeply, especially when we're running up a hill. We don't choose to do that. The reason why we start breathing deeply is that we're burning more fuel, and as we burn more fuel, more carbon dioxide is given off, and maybe even a little bit of lactic acid, and so the blood pH starts to get a little more acid. So the brain says to the lungs, breathe deeply, we need you to breathe out the carbon dioxide, and we need you to breathe in the oxygen, because we need more oxygen. Oxygen alkalizes. Getting rid of that carbon dioxide also helps to alkalize. That's how the lungs do it. That's why the best thing you can do if you're at all stressed, even the heart rate is getting a little bit uneven, if someone has heart arrhythmia, breathe deeply. Breathe deeply and get that life-giving oxygen in, which will soothe the nerves and have an alkalizing effect. The other organ is the kidneys. The kidneys are constantly working to keep the pH of the blood within that range. Let me show you how it does it. This is the kidneys. We have 2 of them, and the little filtering units that I'm going to draw, they're all on the edge. That's called the cortex. So let me show you. I'm going to draw one little filtering unit, and what happens is the blood goes into that little filtering unit, and the filtrate that comes out of the blood weaves around the tubules and then down into the bladder. So here are the tubules that take the filtrate out of the filtered blood. And the blood weaves in. So it weaves into the little filtering units where it's filtered, and then the blood weaves around like this. So where on the kidneys is the filtering units? It's right on the edge, but the tubules, basically, they weave round like this. And then you've got your ureter. There's your ureter from the other kidney, then the bladder, and then your urethra, where, of course, that's a little droplet of urine. That's where it comes out. In a 24-hour period, these little filtering units filter 1,800 litres of blood. Now, we don't have that much blood. Every 2 minutes, 1.5 litres is being filtered. And out of that 1,800 litres of blood, 180 litres of filtrate is filtered out. But we don't urinate out 180 litres a day. Otherwise, I'd have to leave every 5 minutes for the presentation. We only urinate out 1.5 litres approximately. So where's the rest? Where's the 160 litres? There's a reabsorption here. And it's in that reabsorption area that pH is being monitored and balanced if possible. So let's say the pH of the blood is getting too acid, for various reasons, which we're going to be looking at. If the pH of the blood gets too acid, then extra acid is dropped into the tubules to urinate it out. So one way to test this is to put a bit of litmus paper into the urine. And you can see the pH there. Let's say the pH of the blood is getting too alkaline. Extra acid is pulled out of the tubules back into the blood. Remember, every 2 minutes, 1.5 litres is being filtered. So this monitoring system is constantly working. It's called homeostasis, or the kidneys balancing the pH of the blood. So we don't have to worry about the pH of the blood because the lungs and the kidneys are constantly doing that for us.